What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jake here, aka BrusHstroKeZ or Z-Man, and today we got an awesome video for you. So we are going to do a complete clear coat session today on this Mike's Pro Lid. Well, it's not a Mike's Pro Lid brand, but this Harley helmet here. This is all painted in Createx, except for the pinstripe outline. That is custom creative pinstripe paint, the fine silver. And I did paint this 2-3 days ago, maybe 4 days ago, but it's completely dry. With this new product that I'm going to be showing you here in just a second, we have to have our product completely dry, no matter if it's water-based or solvent. We need all the solvents out of there, all the water out of there before we use this awesome new clear coat. And what I got for you today, it's Clean Armor Clear Coat. This is the Automotive 427. They do make, or they are in the process of making several different ones. They have some for carbon fiber, specifically for carbon fiber. They have some that are more for like repairing jobs. They're coming out with satin and matte as well of this. Also, awesome thing with this, you can, I guess you can mix like the matte and satin and gloss together in any formulation you want to get the type of sheen that you want too. So let's just go ahead and read what we got on here. So this is a production clear coat. This is the gloss, high performance, commercial use only. Well, that's not necessarily true. I mean, you can use it at home, but this is a single stage. Yes, you read that right. Single stage. There is no hardener. This is one product. Pour it in your gun, spray it. It is UV cured. Does not need hardener. It is one stage because it is cured by UV lights, which we'll get into in a second. You can see I have one hanging in my booth right there. But this is the amazing part. 100% solids. If you know clear coats, you know most of the most high grade clear coats out there are around 50% solids. So this is basically, one coat of this is like 2 coats or more of any other clear coat. You see that? 0 VOCs. There is 0 solvent in this at all. There's no solvent. And this is not a urethane. This is a aerospace polymer finish. And there is a warning on here. Keep material away from direct and indirect sunlight. The curing of the material on skin may cause a burn because the UV light causes like a chemical heat reaction with this stuff and causes it to cure. Now, I did not want to believe it until I saw it with my own eyes, and still couldn't believe it until I tried this last night. But I sprayed a coat of this and I cured it with the UV light. In 2 or 3 minutes, I could take my fingernail hard as I could, and I got some nails. I keep them. It's easier to pick and tape with nails. But yeah, nothing, not even a scratch. Like, this stuff is almost bulletproof. Like, I don't know, I'm just amazed. This stuff is amazing. I also bought the primer. I haven't used it yet, but it's UV cured as well. 100% solids, 0 VOCs. So if you're just using this in a water-based paint, you would not even have to have like a fire suppression paint booth. You wouldn't have to have, you know, be up to paint codes or anything like that. So let's get into using this a little bit more. So since it is UV cured, you never want to get sunlight on this at all. That's why it comes in these black opaque containers. So if you're going to be using it in a spray gun, you will need a black or opaque cup. If you got the metal cup that came with your gun, that's fine. You just can't use clear or clear plastic cups with this stuff. Otherwise, it's going to cure in here. And this stuff cures so hard that if it cures in your gun, throw it in the trash, because you're never going to get this clear coat out of here. This clear coat is solvent resistant, and actually it is aircraft paint stripper resistant as well. You can put aircraft stripper on this stuff and it won't take it off. I haven't tried that myself. I'll show you this little mini hood here that I cleared with this stuff last night. I took a paper towel, soaked it with lacquer, and I just set it right on there, like not even 10 minutes after this cured. And I let it sit there for, I don't know, 3 minutes or so, 2-3 minutes at least. Pull it off, wiped it off with a clean, dry paper towel. Nothing. No dullness, nothing. But yeah, so using cups, you need to get UV cups for these. These are black ones. 3M does sell the PPS 2 system of these, but I think they only have the 22-ounce cups. And if you've watched my channel, you know I basically only use my LPH 80 minigun. So I got a small gun. I'd prefer having a small cup. If they made these smaller, I'd get 6-ounce ones too, but this is the smallest ones I could find on the internet. These are 13.5 ounces. These are from dentfix.com. 13.5 ounces. You get 24 of the lids and liners. You get 10 caps and one of the hard cups and liners. And it's got all your mixing ratios on there and everything. If you were to use, regular clear coat with this stuff, there's no mixing, so we don't need any of that mixing ratio. We just pour as much as we want in here, and that's it. So, yeah, it comes with all these black cups and liners, and then you got your black lids as well. Protects your product from UV and curing. One thing when we spray this, too, when we get done, we want to just this stuff cleans with alcohol, rubbing alcohol. It needs to be 90 to 91%. I just got some Walmart 91%. So that's how this stuff cleans out of your gun. Nice thing is, don't even have to clean it out of your gun, because it's not going to harden in there. You can just leave it in there. As long as UV light never gets to it, it won't cure. So no more cleaning your gun out. No more using expensive disposable cups every time you clear. I use the cheapest ones I can find on the internet. I'll have a link down below to those, but I get them for like $50 for a case of 50. So, and that's the 6-ounce ones, and it's a little bit more expensive it's almost $2 a cup for the bigger sizes. I think 20-some ounce cups. But I'm gonna save a lot of money just on disposable paint cups. Since this cures so fast too, in less than 5 minutes, I don't have to have, my fans in my booth running for 12 or 24 hours and letting something sit in the booth. It's gonna free up so much time too. But yeah, another savings too. I'm going to save on that. I'm going to save energy costs at home on the fan. I'm going to save on lacquer, cleaning my gun every time I clear coat. I don't even have to clean it anymore. And if I do, it's just a little bit of rubbing alcohol, or you can use acetone as well. So, and actually this was going to be the clear coat video, but now it's just going to be an introduction to clean armor, just kind of my thoughts, how I'm set up, and we'll show you here in just a second my first test panel of it. But yeah, so you need the cups. You also need a UV light. So I bought a 2-pack of UV lights. That way I can just mount them in, a couple of the corners of my booth. And that way, my booth's only like 6 foot by 6 foot, a little bit less one way. But those 2 UV lights, I got these are, what are they? I think 120 watt ones. You can use whatever you want. I'll leave links down below to Clean Armor's safety data sheet, tech data sheet, and then also what you need for the UV lighting. But I did that little mini hood. I only use this one light that I have right here. It's just a 120 watt one. If you want to know, this is the brand. I'll leave links to the 2-pack of these if you're wanting to. Then I'll also leave a link to just one UV light. If you, like me, work on smaller stuff and, you know, don't really need a bunch of light. But I'm going to be doing a motorcycle tank soon. So with this clear, so I wanted as much light in the booth as possible. And we'll get into more of the lighting too in another video, because I got a little idea that I'm going to use to help get my two lights a lot more UV in my booth. So so since this video is already getting a little bit long, let's just get into it. Show you this clear coat. So this is 2 coats of clear coat, and I know the camera doesn't really do justice for stuff, but this looks like it's under like more clear coat than I've ever put on anything else. Like the most clear coat I usually, for all my customer stuff, I'll hit it with 3 coats of clear. The first session I'll sand that down, and then I'll re-clear it with 3 more coats of clear, and then I do my cutting and buffing. So you know, there's 6 coats of clear usually on, you know, most of the stuff I do for customers, you know, motorcycles and, you know, tumblers and stuff. I just clear coat once. But, you know, anything where customers spending some decent money, you know, I do give them the show quality finish. So I put a lot of clear on there for protection. But this is 2 coats. And I spray clear coat really light. Like, I always use my LPH 80, well, almost always, for spraying clear. And so full fluid on this is 4 turns to get it all the way out. Well, just shy of 4 turns makes it full fluid. I sprayed this stuff only 2.5 turns out. So I had a full another 1.5 turns of fluid that I could have been putting on here. But it is absolutely amazing. Like, the camera's not going to do justice. But this is some regular clear coat, something I did the other day. Let's get in the booth where you got some good light. And then this right here is Clean Armor. Obviously, this one here on the right is going to look a little different. It's got, you know, a bunch of graphics, lettering, so a bunch of different, and leafing, copper leafing. So it's got some paint edges. I don't know if you can tell the clarity, but wow, it's just amazing. One thing about this Clean Armor stuff though, the first coat I sprayed it looked like I had dirt everywhere. They call them pocks. You can kind of see one. There's one. And you can kind of see them all over. If you concentrate on that light, you'll see them as I move around. There's just these little spots in it. But this is off the gun, 2 coats too. What I did is actually sprayed the first coat, cured it with my UV light for about 3 or 4 minutes, and I could do this after 3 or 4 minutes. It was rock solid. And since it had all those pocks, which I guess is a characteristic of this stuff, I actually took some 2000 grit sandpaper on a block. I just had a little piece of sandpaper like that on a block. And I was sanding it. I was dry sanding it to test it, and it dry sanded really nice because this is completely cured. There's no gooiness, no gummy. It was just really powdery dry. But since I was doing it in my house, I didn't want to get dust and dirt all over, so, you know, I wet sanded the majority of this, you know, after the first coat, of clear. And then I cleaned it off. What you do is clean it with alcohol. So I just put 91% alcohol on a microfiber towel, wiped it down. I didn't even sand all those pocks out. I just kind of got like the high areas. I kind of just went over it, you know, and just kind of like that. I mean, I spent not even a minute sanding it with 2,000 grit sandpaper. And I cleaned it with alcohol, came back in the booth, sprayed that second coat. And then actually this stuff is self-leveling and healing too. So when you spray it, you're going to have some orange peel. Obviously, you're going to be able to, I had orange peel because I'm not used to it yet. So this stuff is self-leveling. So what I did, I just waited a couple minutes before I turned on my UV light. So I just kind of let it flow out and be like a normal clear, you know, just letting it flow out a little bit more. Like, I'll leave a link to a video too from Clean Armor where they actually take some tweezers and pick something out of the clear, and you can see the divot, and you can just watch it heal itself right up. This stuff is, I don't know, I can't believe it's real, honestly. Like, but this clarity it's unbelievable. You're not gonna, and this is rock solid. Like, I took keys to it, not like the sharp edge, but I was going like this. You can't even see it. I was able to finally scratch it, but it took me an X-Acto blade. It took a sharp tip of an X-Acto and scratch it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it in the camera, but it's right from here to about here. That was an X-Acto blade, like pushing hard, like, and I can't feel it. I guess I can barely feel it, but you can't see it unless you're at the exact spot. But apparently you can't get this, the only way you're getting this clear coat off is sanding it. So I mean, it's practically bulletproof. Don't take my word on that yet. We'll put it to a test. I'll be doing a lot of videos on this stuff because there's really not a whole lot of information out there on this yet. And I know Coast Airbrush is where you get this. They've been doing, they do live feeds weekly on their Facebook page. I have to go check that out. And they've been demoing it on there. And they are the exclusive dealers of this stuff right now. So it is super expensive, but just think of all the cost savings. The time. That's going to be so much for a lot of people. Disposable cups. Cleaning materials, lacquer. You don't have to use lacquer anymore. You can just use alcohol. Savings on energy. You don't have to have your booths running for hours and hours. Or I'm in Iowa where it gets double-digit negatives in the winter for a month or two at a time. So I have to have a heater running in here. Typically, my bills are twice as much as they used to be before I started painting. So, I mean, that's just going to be huge savings for me. But the clear coat is $550 a gallon. And if you've ever ordered from Coast Airbrush, you know they have a 9% flat rate shipping. So if you order just this, it's going to end up being almost $600. Before I forget, another nice thing about this too is it is dust repellent, so it won't get as dirty as your normal clear coats. And apparently this is really easy to cut and buff. 2,000 grit sandpaper, and Coast Airbrush is suggesting CSI polish, which is the only polish I've ever used, so perfect for me. So we will do a video on cutting and polishing this. One of my painter friends wanted to check this out, and we have a car club meeting tonight. So I'm going to actually tape half of this off. I'm going to cut and buff one side of this. and I'll do a video on that too for you guys and ladies, and that way he can see the old off the gun 2 coats and then a cut and buff of this stuff. So I am absolutely blown away with this stuff. I'm gonna end this video here and start making footage on clearing this so you can actually see this stuff in action. But yeah, I just thought man, this stuff is amazing. I can't believe it. Like, this is clear coat last night at like 10 o'clock at night, and it's like, I don't know, 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning right now. Like, unbelievable. I was doing this last night. I ended up staying up till like midnight. Like, I couldn't believe this. I was just throwing it around the house. I was throwing it at like my wood trim doorways. I was throwing it at the wall. Like, a couple times I actually thought I damaged it. But what happened? Oh, just paint from my walls. Throwing it at my walls. There's chunks of paint on here. I thought I chipped it, but no. Just took my fingernail, chipped off the house paint that was stuck to it, and thing is glass. Man, it's just amazing. I can't tell you how awesome this stuff is. I bought these quarts, 140 for the clear and like 110 for the primer, but add 9% for shipping. But well worth it in my book. These lights are pretty cheap as well. You can usually get them around 50 or 60 bucks for individual ones. If you find a 2-pack like I did, you kind of get a deal. I actually got my 2-pack for like $65. If I can find the link, I'll put it down below. I ordered these like 2 or 3 weeks ago when I ordered the clear. They kind of ran out. It's going to be hard to get it, kind of, maybe, right now. And then the box of these, 24, I think it was like 65 bucks or so, right around there. But well worth it all to get set up to do this clear coating. Like, this is going to motivate me to do so much more work because it's going to be so fast. Like, I want to do a lot of pinstriping. I'm scared to do it on some customer stuff because I don't want to do it right on top of paint, because you can't really wipe that off, which means I have to clear coat it, sand it, pinstripe, and then I can final clear. But with this stuff, I can hit it with 1 coat of clear, sand that down, do my pinstriping. I'll have to wait for the pinstriping paint to fully cure, dry out, let all the solvents come out, and then I can reapply the clean armor clear coat. But yeah, amazing stuff. I can't even shut up about it. Listen to me. But yeah, amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm really in love with it. Other than the little pock marks, that's the only issue, but those sand out super easy. They're easy to take care of, way easier than normal clear coat, and this is more durable too. I can send my customers on their way and say, put this right on your bike, with the tank or whatever bike parts. They can just use it immediately. I don't have to worry about, them following instructions not to, mount their parts or anything for some time. But we'll go ahead and I'm going to shut up now. Go ahead and get this helmet clear coated. Get a little video of that for you as well. And then hopefully get this shipped out to Georgia today yet. So till the next one,